Okay, this is an abbreviated tutoring session because we're going to add a week. And I did a lot of research on assessments. I'm still looking for the passage and the assessment from the teaching reading source book. And so we're just going to do a quick fluency today. Hi,
Hello.
Reeve.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you have your grandma there today?
Yeah.
All right, good for you. Um, all right, I'm just literally finishing this up as we speak. And I'll tell you what we're doing and why, so you'll understand. Let me just find this. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, great. Um, I think what I'll do here. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just going in Google Classroom and creating this material, and we'll put it. There we go. I'll share my screen as soon as I have this.
Okay.
There we go.
What time is it in California right
Oh yeah, it's 4:53.
now? Oh,
Yeah, it's
two.
just
Yeah.
shy of 5 o'clock.
It's 3 hours below ours.
Yeah, so Virginia, if you want to know, it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful states in the Union. And I haven't been there, but I've heard a lot of good things about Virginia. Um, have you ever been to California?
Yes, when I was like little.
Really? Did you guys go to like Disneyland?
Uh, we went to LA, I think.
Okay,
Yeah. During the winter, I want to go there to see a basketball game there.
nice. Yeah, California
You live
because
in
of the geography. What's that?
you live in San Francisco?
No, I got back from San Francisco a couple weeks ago. I was born in San Francisco. I live in Bakersfield, which is an hour and a half north of Los Angeles.
Oh, I wanted to go to San Francisco to see my favorite basketball team.
Your what?
My
Your
favorite,
team?
yeah, my favorite basketball team.
Oh, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the All-Star game when I was up there last time.
I don't
Um,
this season the playoffs are, but now I don't think they can win. They have a game today.
oh, okay. All right, I have everything here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. To let you know, I'm going to explain to you what was going on, and then you'll kind of laugh. But so on Monday, we had a tutoring session together. I enjoyed that. I know you did. And on the way down to San Diego, because I went on a conference Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, um, I took this book with me, a big book, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to help you. And, you know, I came up with a lot of interesting material. I learned a lot of different things. I've been teaching reading for years as an English teacher, but never really focused just on teaching reading. Um, well, I have actually, that's not true, but not in a 6 week kind of format. So I explained to your mom, I'm still looking for one of the assessments, which will help you with reading comprehension. And but it changed everything I had planned
Yeah, I heard.
enough that I felt it would not be fair to you to start today. So I'm going to give you an extra week. So you're still going to have 6 weeks and you're going to finish the first week of June. So Monday, when we meet, it's going to be like the first session all over again, but we're not going to redo that. And the other thing I wanted you to know is that I know you like science fiction, you like The Rookie. I did a little bit of research on that, and I know that you like action and you like, the
Mys-
drama.
yeah,
Police,
so
what's
yeah,
that?
mysteries, drama, suspense. It like
Mysteries, drama, suspense.
like in the rookie, they have these cases. I always try to solve them on my own with my dad before. Sometimes we're right, sometimes there's a really big twist, and then I like that.
That's cool. You guys watch it together?
Yeah, me and my dad.
That's cool. The Rookie.
It's made in
Yeah. I,
LA.
when I was your age, it's funny because my favorite TV show ever when I was your age was The Rookies. It was a
Oh,
TV drama, but it's the old style. If you look on YouTube, if your parents let you look on YouTube, look up The Rookies. It's a TV series from the 1970s.
what's it about?
Police.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a police show. Yeah. So, and they filmed the streets of San Francisco right by my house in San Francisco. Actually, at my school, they did some episodes in my school. The Streets of San Francisco was a TV drama, police drama of two detectives living in San Francisco.
yeah,
So
the
they
rookie is
always had a
still happening,
what's that?
right? The rookie.
What's that?
They make new episodes of the rookie every Tuesday
Okay,
for the new season.
yeah, good to know. That's I know that keeps people really excited when they have a TV series and they've watched them all, and so they wait with anticipation for the next
Yeah.
episode. So I can totally relate to that. Cool. Well, we have that in common. Um, Your mother, also to give you some more background, when I met with her today, is I gave her what I believe is going to help you the most. And it's the class that you're taking now. And it's also your reading outside of class because, and I was explaining to her, out of all the schools in the district, my class was the highest in terms of the benchmarks of the students using the kind of curriculum that we were using. And I think the reason for that was not so much I was such a great teacher, although I think I do some things good and I do some things well, but I think it's because I had all the students take books home. They could choose any book they wanted from my library. And then I had one student. Now, these are students that come to school 1 day a week and they all have jobs, or a lot of them do. That's why they come. It's called independent studies. And not a lot of them read on grade level. They read below grade level. Some of them are on grade level. But I have one kid, David, he read 8 novels that year on his own, on top of his work. I didn't give him any credit for that, no extra credit, because I understood that long form reading, such as chapter books and novels, and your mom wants these to be outside of your comfort zone too, not just science fiction and all that, are what helps you the most. Helps
Yeah.
your vocabulary, your understanding, your comprehension, dealing with those questions you're going to face. IXL is not going to go away. And if it does go away, you're still going to be faced with some sort of multiple choice, right? It could be the ACT, the SAT, the AP, the advanced placement exam that you take in high school, right?
Yeah. Like
So
that.
these are going to be, yeah, go ahead.
I have something called the SOL coming up on like
And so well
May it's
in
like
May.
May 13th. It's like a test you take that covers all of your reading. I can show you like a couple tests and they're like that. They have one poem and then the rest are like passages, these flyers, and you have to answer questions about them. And then there's word choice, obviously, a couple of those.
Okay, yeah, you can show. Uh, um, Let me write this down so that um, we stay kind of organized. So I'll have you share that with me a little bit later. Now the other thing I wanted to say was you've heard of William Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they do this in Virginia, but I know in California, ninth graders read Romeo and Juliet and they read Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare is very difficult because it's like learning a different language. Because are you familiar with Yoda?
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know how Yoda talks? Well, Shakespeare uses a lot of odd sentence construction. Um, for example, to thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Be true to yourself, right? But it's almost written backwards. To yourself be true. That's how Yoda talks. To yourself be true, right? Um, and there's a word that not a lot of teachers know that I found out. And this is one of the secrets. I think I need to add this to your vocabulary list. Um, Kenning. Okay, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I'm going to write this down for another day. Another day, we're going to talk about kenning, Kenning, because it's going to really help your reading. What I was explaining to your mom is you need to be a reader, a good reader. What we mean by that, somebody who reads on a regular basis, somebody who reads a lot. That is going to be your superpower. Your superpower is going to be how much you read. Now, I told your mom I want to keep you motivated and excited. So, yes, we do want to do some science fiction. We want to do what's the name of that science fiction author? I'll tell you his name in a second because he was from Kern County and he was a kind of guy that had this odd problem because he could remember every waking moment of his life from his childhood. He can remember every moment.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It could be torturous, but let me see here.
I like the
Um,
fiction series called Spy School. It's like a CIA kind of book.
yeah, who's the author of that?
Stuart Gibbs.
Huh. I think you wrote that in your
Uh,
survey.
yeah, I think I did. I like that series a lot.
Oh. Hmm. Okay, wait. Which science fiction author died within I know I totally misspelled that. Ray Bradbury.
Who?
Yeah, have you heard of Ray Bradbury?
No.
Okay. He might be one of the authors that we recommend to you, but there were some other recommendations that I have, but I'm not going to show you right now. But here's well, let me just explain this. You're gonna want to read outside your comfort zone. So that's why I brought up William Shakespeare. And I told your mom she should get you a book on how to read Shakespeare.
Yeah, I heard the talk. I was
Yeah.
just sitting right here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, so you heard kind of everything I was explaining her already.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't need to go over that then. So let's just jump right in and we're going to do a quick exercise. Well, it's not going to necessarily be that very quick, but 15 minutes. This is called Mission to Mars Reading Fluency Worksheet. I just created this. I generated it actually. Um, Now, I got the original passage from ReadWorks, which one of the platforms that I use to help students to read.
Wait, I think
Um,
I read the passage Mission to Mars. Could you like show it? It might be. I don't know if the title's the same, but I feel like I've heard of it. Because
okay, yeah, let me take a look. I'll be happy to show that to you.
recently
Um,
I did a report on one of something similar to that. I just wanted to see if it was the same.
so Mission to Mars said it had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day arrived. Hundreds of spectators gathered at NASA's Kennedy Air Force Base to watch the Orion 254 shuttle shoot up into outer space. Does that sound familiar?
The what spaceship?
The Orion 254 shuttle?
No, I think it was different.
Okay. Yeah, so this ReadWorks here is kind of a kind of cool place where, you have, let's see, step reads, you have a lot of different tools. Question set tells you which grade level you're at, which lexile, how many words, all these things, and it has related articles that can be read, and it gives you the grade level, such as eighth grade here for Malai's mission, or a closer look at Mars, grade 7. Okay, so what I turned that into, I generated this right here. So that's what we're going to do today. So today's not a real tutoring session. I mean, it's going to feel like, but it's not part of your 6 weeks. So it's just free because I didn't want to ignore you, and I think your mom wanted me to meet with you, and I felt like, yeah, I really feel badly if I told you we're going to meet on Saturday. Um, but like I said, I'm still designing everything so that way Monday everything's going to be ready just the way that I want it. Um, all right, so here let's just go through this. First and second read, closed teacher-led routine. So CLOZ, what that means basically. Um, is, oh, I don't like this. We're not supposed to be missing the words. So let me do something here. Let me fix this real quickly. Did I stop sharing? Yeah, I must have stopped sharing.
I
You can
don't.
just see me, right?
Yeah, you were never sharing.
Okay, sorry about that. Right, this will take like less than a minute to fix, I think. Um,
While you're doing that, could I get water?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Is California always hot?
No, it's actually raining today. Um,
Oh, it doesn't snow there, right?
yeah, it does.
Oh, when does it snow?
Um, Snows like in the mountains. I used to work like just 30 miles from here. We have the mountains, and when I worked there for 2 years, it snowed all the time. Yeah, so California is interesting. It has, beaches, it has mountains, it has desert, city, farms. We have it all here, basically. Just underline. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Mars. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Cut and paste, and I'm going to share my screen. All right. Oh, I don't want to have that. So share screen. All right. Can you see my page now?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm excited about this because um, the fluency here practice may not seem like it, but it's actually going to improve your reading comprehension. Um, it's going to do for many different reasons. As I explained to your mom, the speed helps you to chunk ideas together. Um, the intonation is another. So there's three different types of fluency. Fluency is a way of describing how smoothly we do something. So if I say I'm going to practice my fluency, I'm not being specific enough because there are three different types of fluency. Okay. One is, can you read words correctly? I know that you can already, right? You can, for the most part, right? You can pronounce words correctly, but that also has to do with how quickly you can read given 1 minute, right? How many words can you read total? The third kind of fluency is expression. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, you may have heard me earlier. When you um, focus on your expression as you're reading, in other words, what emotion do you put in your voice? Is it happy? Sad? Is it excited? Right? These things are not just
Is it
pleasant things to do
is it
to take up time.
like the
What's
tone?
that? Yeah, it could be your tone, your mood, but it's really in order to do it properly, you have to be thinking about what the word, what the sentence means and where the emphasis word is, right? Because I can emphasize in this sentence here, mission to Mars, right? Mission to Mars, right? And so the implication is that you're getting excited because it's to Mars, right? It's not just a mission to the moon, a mission to California, but Mars is the emphasis. Do you see that? Did you get that from my voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I could emphasize mission to Mars, right?
You sound
The
enthusiastic.
emphasis, what's that?
Sound enthusiastic.
Right. But where did I put the emphasis? Mission to Mars,
In mission.
right? So there's different ways that we can emphasize an idea or just emphasize a particular word or idea within a phrase or a sentence. Okay. Um, this forces the brain to really ask itself, what is the author meaning here? And so this is going to get more deep into what you read. right? It's almost like reading into what you read. All right. So the first and second read will be closed teacher led routine. So I'll read the whole passage out loud. Then I'll omit one word per sentence, which is, I don't like that. I don't think one word per sentence. I think that's a little too much. Usually we try to do three of these in a given paragraph. So, but that's fine. We'll go with what's here.
Okay.
Um, so the word that I'm going to that you see here in bold and
Is a
italicized is the word that you're going to read out loud as I'm reading. Okay.
yeah.
So what you're going to notice is how smoothly I read. Now, um, I'm going to read with expression and steady pacing. That's what you're reading, listening for. So these are the directions. I'm going to read out loud with expression and steady pacing. I'm going to pause for each omitted word. It's not really an omitted word. You're going to hear that I'm not going to say the word, but you're going to see the word, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I'm going to wait for you to chime in, and then I'm going to continue reading. So
Okay.
I'll demonstrate this. We'll
Yeah.
reread the passage once more at a slightly quicker pace for the second read.
Okay. So the first one's like an example.
Yeah, exactly. And the second one, um, I'm going to read a little quicker the second time. I'm going to read it twice. Okay. Then we're going to go over some words. You may already understand these words. That's not the important thing here. Um, just to know that it's important to focus on different words.
I know
What's that?
I know all these words except for frontier. I didn't know it means a new or unexplored place. I
Okay.
thought it was like the front of something.
Yeah. Yeah. Frontier. Okay. Yeah. But there may be other words in the passage that you don't understand. We'll go through those.
Okay.
And then finally, now I didn't put the totals here, but normally when I do this, I have, let's say here at the end of each line, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 words right there, right? And if I keep counting to the second line, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 29 words total there, right? I can go on and on and on. So, but we're not going to take the time to do that now. But at the very end, the last thing we're going to do is you're going to read through the entire passage. I'm going to give you 1 minute and we're going to see how far you get. And we're going to subtract any errors that you make in pronunciation. So as I'm reading, also pay attention to any pronunciation. Okay? Okay. It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day arrived. Sorry, let me practice that again.
I
I'm going to
thought
leave out the word arrived, and you're going to supply that word. It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day.
arrived.
Hundreds of spectators gathered at NASA's Kennedy Air Force Base to watch the Orion 254 shuttle shoot up into outer
Space.
headed for Mars. Almost everyone in the world had tuned in to watch live
Footage.
of the launch on their smartphones or on TV. On board the shuttle, two astronauts, dressed in puffy white spacesuits, patiently
Waited.
for blastoff. Roy and Chiara Thomas were a married couple NASA had specially selected to undertake this risky.
Mission.
A voice came over the speakers that hovered above the excited.
Spectators.
Suddenly, the crowd hushed. In 1969, human beings walked on the
Moon.
for the first time, said the deep, confident voice. And now, in July of 2020, we expand our frontier to Mars. Everyone erupted into cheers,
Whistles.
and Chiara and Roy smiled as they heard the expressions of support over their shuttle
Radio.
radio. 10, counted the deep voice. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Colossal fuel jets attached to the shuttle shot white hot streaks of fire into the,
Ground.
and the shuttle immediately shot upward into the,
Sky.
in order to generate enough force to propel the shuttle from the Earth's surface into outer space. The shuttle's fuel tanks had to send an enormous amount of opposite pressure against the.
Ground.
I think this is a good stopping point. I'm still tutoring here, but I think we don't need to use a lot of the passage to do our work. Typically, we don't use a lot. Usually, it's just a short paragraph or
Okay.
several. Okay, so we're gonna just stay with that. We're gonna now I'm gonna go through a second time. Now, I want to show you something here. Instead of reading, it had taken decades of hard work. Notice I grouped these words. It had taken decades of hard work, right? Decades of hard work is almost read like it's one unit. Decades of hard work, right? But at long last, the day arrived, right? Now, notice that I put long last. I kind of spread that out a little bit
Yeah.
because it's I'm demonstrating that I understand that the emphasis there is they've waited a long time,
Yeah,
right?
because you just said the day arrived. That doesn't sound that they sound like kind of sad. Maybe like up to some they don't want to do it kind of.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, that's I'm just pointing out what I'm doing with my voice. And the reason I also explain this is because when I'm first doing this with students in my class, I always want them to know why we're doing this. And I explain to them that, and this is not you, I'm sure this is not, but a lot of my students, they read like this because my students are struggling with their reading level. It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day arrived. Hundreds of spectators. Now, notice, does that sound natural in the way that I normally talk?
No.
No, because otherwise I would say, hey, Ariv, today we're going to tutor. Are you ready? Right? Wouldn't that sound strange?
Yeah, it sounds like a
Yes.
robot.
Right, right. So that's why I kind of wanted to show you ahead of time. You probably might have picked up on that already. I was grouping things, grouping words. Um, Now you could, if you want, and this helps you, you can take your fingers and you can go like this. Let me show.
What is that?
This is a whiteboard.
Oh, I've never seen a triangle whiteboard kind of shape.
Yeah, this is a kind of cool thing. Let me see. I thought I had my eraser with me. One of the things that may or may not be helpful for you would be
It had taken decades of hard work.
Okay. Of hard work. It had taken. It had taken. So notice I start here, I end here. This might be by itself. It had taken decades of hard work.
Yeah, it
Da-da-da. No, no, no. Da-da. No, no, no. So 3 units,
yeah,
right? It had taken decades of hard work. And so this will stretch us so that we're reading larger chunks, right? And as we begin to do this, we is that how you read? Do you read like in chunks?
uh yeah, I like read like a small part at a time.
Yeah. So this can help with speed reading also, right? Like getting better. This will also help later on when we use visualization techniques, because visualization is a secret tool. It's a secret weapon. And it's really what is at the core and foundation of good reading comprehension is the ability to visualize everything. And so it'll help you with retention and even when you're writing. So as I mentioned at your mom. So sometimes I have my students um, visualize different parts here. This is hard to visualize here because it's not very specific, is it?
Yeah,
Right? Like what does it had taken look like? I don't know what that looks like. Maybe we picture a clock, right? Decades, maybe we picture the word like a calendar in 10 pages, one for each of 10 years, right? In hard work, you might picture a person with a pencil tucked behind his ear and his face kind of like serious looking, right?
yeah,
So when you're trying to remember all this, you just remember the pictures. I'm not a good artist, but
yeah. Me too.
right. So if I don't look at any of this and I get rid of it and I just look at the pictures, I can retell that whole sentence, right? Why don't you
Yeah.
try it?
10 decades.
Yeah. It had taken,
It had taken decades of hard work.
there you go, right? So that's one way that when you're reading something more difficult. Now, this is not really necessary for easy passages, is it?
Yeah,
But at times, if we're reading something that's unfamiliar, we need to use some of these skills to better remember what we read. Okay, so I'm going to read through the second time.
wait, could I go to the bathroom?
Sure. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read through second time here. It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day.
Oh,
Oh, am I sure? I'm not sharing, am I?
no, you are.
Right. Oh, I am. Okay. Is
I thought we
that
already,
better?
yeah, I thought we already did this.
Yeah, we're going to go through a second time. I'm going to go through faster.
Okay.
Uh, because what you're trying to do is you're going to try to emulate or duplicate what I'm doing. Okay. It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last, the day.
Arrived.
Hundreds of spectators gathered at NASA's Kennedy Air Force Base to watch the Orion 254 shuttle shoot up into outer space.
Wait,
Sorry, headed for Mars. Almost everyone in the world had tuned in to watch live
which-
of the launch on their smartphones or on TV. Do you notice I'm going faster?
Yeah.
Yeah. On board the shuttle, two astronauts dressed in puffy white spacesuits patiently
Rated.
for blastoff. Roy and Chiara Thomas were a married couple NASA had specially selected to undertake this risky.
Mission.
A voice came over the speakers that hovered above the excited.
Spectators.
Suddenly, the crowd hushed. In 1969, human beings walked on the
Moon.
for the first time, said the deep, confident voice. And now, in July of 2020, we expand our frontier to Mars. Everyone erupted into cheers,
Missiles.
and Char and Roy smiled as they heard the expressions of support over their shuttle.
Radio.
10, counted the deep voice. Now notice my chunks got bigger. My chunk was probably like that before. Sorry. But this time it's all that,
Yeah.
right? I picked up a bigger chunk. 10, counted the deep voice. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Colossal fuel jets attached to the shuttle shot white hot streaks of fire into the.
Sky. Oh, wait, I didn't see that. The ground.
Yeah. And the shuttle immediately shot up into the.
Sky.
In order to generate enough force to propel the shuttle from the Earth's surface into outer space, the shuttle's fuel tanks had to send an enormous amount of opposite pressure against the.
Ground.
Okay. All right. So what you're going to do now, um, so we have the vocabulary here. We know that frontier is a new or unexplored place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to let you read. Did you want to practice a couple of sentences first? Did you want to jump right in?
Oh, I'll just jump right in then.
Okay. I'm going to get my timer up here.
Wait, I have to read the
We're going
whole
to go,
in 1 minute.
you're going to read just to here.
Oh, okay. What if I can't?
It doesn't matter. Wherever you end up is what we're going to tally. So I have some students that they can only read up to like half of it. That's okay. You're only competing with yourself.
Okay.
Okay. How
When,
we do this is that you read twice. I give you a minute each time, and we look at your score the second time versus the first time. We see if you've improved.
okay. When do I start?
All right. I'll tell you when to start. You're going to just start right here.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You might finish before the minute is up. If you do, go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning and read as far as you can until that minute is up.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me get my timer. This will be the last thing we do today. I won't show you the timer. I'll just, it'll be too distracting. Um, and I haven't figured out how to put a timer so it's kind of visible here, but not obscuring anything. All right. On your marks, get set, go.
It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last the day arrived. Hundreds of spectators gathered at NASA's Kennedy Air Force Base to watch the Orion 254 shuttle shoot up into outer space, headed for Mars. Almost everyone in the world had tuned in to watch the live footage of the launch on their smartphones or on TV. On board the shuttle, two astronauts dressed in puffy white spacesuits patiently waited for a blastoff. Roy and Shara Thomas were a married couple NASA had specially selected to I can't could you scroll
Okay.
that
Yeah, skip it.
undertake this risky mission. A voice came over the speakers that hovered above the excited spectators. Suddenly the crowd hushed. In 1969, human beings walked on the moon for the first time, said the deep, confident voice. And now in July of 2020, we expand our frontier to Mars. Everyone erupted into cheers of whistles, and Shara and Roy smiled as they heard the expressions of support over the shuttle radio.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Support. You stopped at support, right?
Uh, no, at radio.
Okay. I gave you some extra time because
Oh,
um, I think you couldn't see the screen,
yeah,
which I could see more of the screen, which is
yeah,
weird.
because
I don't.
I have your like
Okay.
picture image in that area where so I could
Oh,
and I can't
did
like
I? Is that better now?
no it's not like something you can fix. It's just like on my end of the thing. It's like
Okay.
I think I'll try, oh I can cancel it out.
Okay. All right. Let's go the second time. So you read, I normally I would count the number of words, but today we're just going to say that we're going to highlight this. The first color will be green. The second time you read will be yellow.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, you're going to go a second time on your marks. Hold on, let me hide something here. Get set, go.
It had taken decades of hard work, but at long last the day arrived. Hundreds of spectators gathered at NASA's Kennedy Air Force Base to watch the Orion 254 shuttle shoot up into outer space headed for Mars. Almost everyone in the world had tuned in to watch live footage of the launch on their smartphones or on TV. On board the shuttle, two astronauts dressed in puffy white spacesuits patiently waited for blastoff. Roy and Shara Thomas were a married couple NASA had specially selected to undertake this risky mission. A voice came over the speaker that hovered above the excited spectators. Suddenly, the crowd hushed. In 1969, human beings walked on the moon for the first time, said the deep, confident voice. And now, in July of 2020, we expand our frontiers to Mars. Everyone erupted into cheers and whistles, and Shara and Roy smiled as they heard the expressions of support over their shuttle radio. 10 counted the deep voice. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Colossal fuel jets attached to the shuttle shot white hot streaks of fire into the ground.
Okay. All right. Shuttle shot. Um, okay. Yeah. So that's basically it. So now that's just one type of fluency. Um, we'll one of the things we'll do is we'll look at your expression also. That was not the focus on this particular pair of readings, but you got exactly what I wanted, right? Now, if you had made any errors, I would have subtracted those and corrected you at the end. Um, but it looks like you didn't make any mistakes. Um, it was just an issue with being able to see what was on the screen. All right, so that's it. And like I said, as we move throughout the different weeks of the tutoring, we'll practice visualization techniques for some of this. We'll be
Okay.
able to group things and figure out how much words, how many words do we convert into visuals? It just might be we might there's a it's not as easy to determine how to do that. But what's good about this is just the act of asking ourselves, what part of this should I visualize? That alone can help us because that's going to stick with us.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, and I mentioned to you before you overheard me talking with your mom about student think alouds.
Wait, what?
I just wanted to be sure that when I was talking with your mom, you were kind of listening when we were talking about um, when a student is actually thinking out loud during a tutoring session or a class, how it helps the teacher know what the student where
Yeah.
the error is happening.
Yeah, and then you can help fix it.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we're going to do when it comes to um, reading some of these passages that we're going to put as um, we're going to treat like it's a multiple choice test, right? So, all right. So, any last thought would be anything that you learned or wanted to learn or had a thought about. Could be just an observation.
Uh, no, I think I like your like lesson plan and everything. I think it will help me.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Arif. And I will see you on Monday and I'll just double check with your mom. Uh, it seems like right now we're doing Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah,
Oh,
not Saturday. We only did Saturday today because I
wait,
was out of town.
wait, Monday and Wednesday? Monday and Wednesday?
Yeah, weren't you saying that Tuesday and Thursday?
Yeah, but in the summer, I have a swim on Monday and Wednesday. I have like a competition at this time till like it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, we'll fix that when it gets to summer. I already know that we're going to have to be flexible because there's a lot going on with your schedule. So we'll just talk about it at the end of each session to be sure that it works. Okay.
Have a
Okay.
wonderful.
So for now we'll do Monday and Wednesday. But if your mom needs to reach out to me, I mean, you can. I'll let her know right now through the message, and if that's a problem, we can change it.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks. Appreciate your time and your attention. All right.